Hey, my name is Paul Kiris, and today I'm going to take you on a photo tour of the Prospect Basin Fens located at 11,000 feet in the boundaries of Telluride Ski Resort. I was unable to get up there this week since winter came early this October and there's close to a foot of snow at higher elevations. However, while engaging with nonprofits in Telluride the past couple years, I've had the privilege of helping stakeholders with research, restoration projects, and educational events in the Fens. During this time, I accumulated a handful of photos, which I'll share with you today and do my best to simulate a virtual tour through the fens. Shown in this photo is String Fen, one of the 5 fens located in Prospect Basin. The fens in Prospect Basin formed over 10,000 years ago. Glacial lakes were met by colonizing plants. As the plants colonized along the lake, they became saturated by water, which exposed the plants to anaerobic conditions. In anaerobic environments, low oxygen levels, reduced decomposition rates, and the slowly decaying plant material forms peat. Peatlands form 3% of the Earth's surface but sequester a third of all Earth's terrestrial carbon. Because of the fen's small footprint but ability to be a significant buffer against global climate change, they caught the attention of many residents in Telluride when the ski resort planned to develop ski trails in Prospect Basin in 2002. This is a picture of Buckbean Fen. It's one of my favorite fens because it has a floating mat. You can walk the floating mat and feel the ground move underneath you. Researchers think this is our youngest fen as the glacial lake still remains, where in the other 4 fens, colonizing plants have filled much of the standing water. Here are some of the plants which are found in the fens. From left to right, we have marsh marigold, elephant's head, and cotton grass. In this photo, we have a scientist holding a core sample of peat. In the fens, you can find peat 3 meters down, and some of the samples date back 8,000 years. As I was mentioning before, when Telsky planned to develop ski trails in Prospect Basin in 2002, a group of locals formed a committee advocating for the protection of the fens. There's already had a history of lawsuits with the EPA from filling and draining wetlands when developing a golf course, so Telsky was more than willing to meet the committee's request and be mindful when developing ski runs in the basin. Telluride Ski Resort hired Dr. David Cooper, a wetland ecologist from Colorado State University, as a consultant to help mitigate the effects of ski runs on the fens. Dr. Cooper and Telsky ensured that development would not have adverse effects on the fens. Helicopters flew in lift towers to avoid compacting the wetlands, and little to no grading of the area was done when making trails that could have potentially drained the fens. Here's a picture of Dr. Cooper and a group of researchers discussing study designs on Fen. Cooper and his team of researchers study how the fens are functioning and have been monitoring trends for 20 years. One of Dr. Cooper's PhD students is currently researching how climate change has affected the hydrologic regime of the fens. Fortunately, the fens in Prospect Basin are free from the threats that face other peatlands, such as peat mining and agricultural conversion. However, long-term drought may affect the ecological health of these unique wetlands. Here are a couple of other photos of another scientist at her study plots. She sits with a large chamber that she uses to quantify photosynthetic rates in the fens. The data she collects will be used to model the carbon dynamics in the fens. Today, universities and local nonprofits engage in research, education, and restoration projects in the fens. In 2021, Telluride Institute, a local nonprofit and a partner of the Fens program, received funding from Patagonia to complete a restoration project. The goal of the project was to stabilize a headcut in one of the fens to help restore historic water levels. Telluride Institute, with the help of CSU, Telsky, and Telluride Academy, completed the project and plan to do another restoration project in the future. In this next slide, we have a photo of the headcut pre-restoration on the left, and on the right is post-restoration. If you want to get involved with the research, education, or restoration events, or just go on a hike in the fens, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I'm happy to take any questions at this point.